Good day everyone, my name is Coolpilot and welcome to this update video for Coolpilot Productions. There'll be no Minecraft mishaps video today. I just did not have the time to be able to get it done. I'll explain why in a little bit shortly. But this video will kind of cover what's been going on the last couple weeks that I haven't been posting anything, as well as the new schedule that only lasted a week before I had those 2 weeks that wasn't able to do anything, but it's still the new schedule nonetheless, what it is, as well as the current plans for the current revised plans, I should say, for the different video series for the YouTube portion of Coolpilot Productions, and then a little update on what's been going on with the comic in progress, The Aberdeen. So, starting out, I have been gone the last 2 weeks. Well, originally, at the beginning of, 2 weeks ago, what date was that? The week of the 9th. On that week, the beginning of the week, I was originally only going to miss a couple days worth of videos. The work schedule I had, combined with what the schedule was the week before, was just, it was kind of a wonky schedule. I was exhausted, mentally and physically. I just was not up to finishing, recording and editing videos in time for the beginning of that week. So it's usually, let's just say, I'll miss a couple days and, get back into it. I just not able to do those first 2 days with the way the work schedule was set up. And I didn't have enough time to plan ahead for that. So, yeah, that was originally just going to be it. But in the middle of the week, my sinus infection rebounded for a second time. I originally had a sinus infection back in the middle of January. Lasted like 3 weeks and had a week of bronchitis. Then I was good for a week. And then, or I should say, it was probably more at the beginning of January when that happened, because that's like 4 weeks. But then it was good for about a week, and then it rebounded on Super Bowl Sunday, no less, when the Seahawks destroyed the Broncos. And I was sick again for like another couple weeks. On that second time of the sinus infection rebounding, our doctor prescribed me some antibiotics. But my mom, who also had a sinus infection at the time, was given those same antibiotics, same dosage and everything, but she only had 1 day's worth of it because she ended up having a reaction to it and had to switch to different antibiotics. So sinus infection came back here several months later. It's like 4 months later, really. And luckily, we still had 9 days worth of antibiotics sitting around the house. I was able to nip it in the bud fairly early, so it didn't last quite as long as the previous 2 times. But still took a while to really get over it. The worst of the symptoms were out of the way, like within a week, or less than a week, really. But the residual symptoms have continued to affect me, well, technically still now, till now even, with some of the coughing and the runny nose. But it was affecting me enough to where I couldn't record anything until like yesterday today. So it was still fairly miserable. It was fairly miserable for me, just period, having to have a sinus infection, having to have it again. But I've getting over it now. I'm actually, my sinuses are better than they have been in like 2-3 years. I've constantly had having problems with swollen nose, runny nose, occasional coughing, more so after the first 2 bouts of this infection when it comes to coughing, and phlogiston tubes being swollen shut for quite a long time. Phlogiston tubes are still a little bit swollen, still having the runny nose, though not as bad as normal. Swelling is down in my nose, is down a lot, and the coughing is still, happening because just got over an infection, but it's decent, at this point. Still short coughing fits now and again, but that'll be something that takes a little longer to heal up. So it is awful having to have that infection again, but it's actually clearing up more now than it has previously, which is really, really nice. So maybe I'll actually be able to turn to a more normal state in terms of my sinuses and be less miserable all the time. Because of that, though, a couple weeks there, I just wasn't able to get anything done. I had a couple of Civ 5 videos I could have edited, but that was it. Minecraft mishaps. I did have a video ready to be edited, but it's now a month old. So I'm going to be recording a new one in its stead, and just getting rid of the old one, because the last episode that I recorded for Minecraft mishaps is just a talking episode. Nothing happens in it, really. It was discussing what had happened in between episodes, which I'll give a little bit more Cliff Notes version of. In the new episode I'll be recording probably tomorrow. And it was also talking about the plans for the UHS 2 world and what we'll be doing with UHS 3 once it's out of beta, which at the time it wasn't even in beta yet. Now it is, but I'm pretty sure it is still in beta, so it'll still be on the UHS 2 world for a little while. But it was all discussion, so I'll just kind of discuss those things in the new episode while doing new things. Rather than upload a month-old video that is now outdated in its information because I've changed my mind on some things, and it's still kind of wishy-washy on others, and you'll try to figure out what I want to do. So, yeah, no Minecraft and Subs video today though, because I just don't have the time to do it. I mean, no way that I'll have enough time to record. We'll actually set up, record, set up, prepare, record, edit, and upload a Minecraft mishaps video all in today. There's no chance. It's too much work to fit in one day and get it uploaded. It just wouldn't work. So, especially since it's been so long since I played in the world, and I have to kind of rethink what I was doing. Bug. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Let's hold this tight until we're done with this recording so I can throw this guy in the toilet. A lot of bugs in my room recently. Annoying. But yeah, no Minecraft mishaps video today just because didn't quite have enough time to do it. The Civ 5 video I posted yesterday was already edited and ready to, be uploaded. I have to upload the other two Civ 5 videos today. Or not upload, but edit the other two Civ 5 videos for the week today. Probably edit Mondays as well, because I'm working Thursday through Saturday this week. And if I have to work Sunday, that's going to be a bit of a problem in trying to get things ready for the beginning of next week for the schedule. Because the current schedule for Coolpilot Productions' YouTube channel is... this was announced obviously quite a while ago, but I didn't get the chance to do a video in that first week. The new schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Civ 5 Civilization Challenge, and Tuesday, Thursday, Minecraft mishaps. Now you may notice that there are two regular series missing from that list. The first of which is Terraria Testaments. Terraria Testaments is currently postponed indefinitely. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to start doing it. The problem with Terraria Testaments has proven to be that the commentary is terrible. There's only I only have 5 subscribers at the moment, getting a couple of views at most per video, which is fine for me. I'm currently in the stage of experimenting and learning and just getting used to commentary and video making. That's something that takes time and work, and you have to actually produce stuff to really learn how to do them right. You have to make videos to become more comfortable in commentating videos. You have to commentate in order to become better at commentating. So, at the stage of learning, I don't consider any of the videos I put up right now to be really good or great or spectacular. They're okay. I just say they're okay. They're good enough to post. So I post them. They're okay. It's fine for now. I'm not expecting myself to make anything spectacular yet. Once I get to a level where I'm much more comfortable with how I'm doing things, I much more think that my quality of work is, starting to become, pretty decent. Then I'll start, advertising myself, getting myself out there, trying to attract an audience. At this point, though, I'm still learning. So I'm okay with only having, 2 people listen to this and only having, 5 subscribers total. That's fine for this stage. However, I do draw a line on the stuff I'm willing to post. I'm willing to post stuff that I only consider to be okay, not being, really good, not high quality content, just okay, decent. But I'm not willing to put something up that I think is bad. And Terraria Testaments is currently bad. The main issue is in filling in all the blank spaces. There is ton of dead space, ton of dead air and dead time in Terraria and in Terraria Testaments, and I just can't fill them in yet. That's one of my main problems with commentating currently. One of the main problems I've been trying to overcome, and I'm starting to overcome. I've already noticed a bit of improvement both in Minecraft Mishaps and a little more so in the Civ 5 videos so far. I'm getting a little bit more, getting a little better at filling time in, but I'm still not good at it yet. And I'm also not good at injecting myself more into my commentaries. Me and my stories, the things that have happened in my life, injecting me more of me, my life, and my personality into commentaries yet. That's one of the things I've been hoping to get better at as I get a little bit more comfortable with commentating. And that's something that that's a skill I really need to have before doing Terraria Testaments, because right now it just doesn't work at all. And even trying it just hurts. It is awful. So yeah, I'm going to continue just working on Minecraft Mishaps, Civ 5, get better at commentating once I'm more comfortable with things, and able to create a Terraria Testaments episode that is at least decent, is at least okay. Then I'll start posting that, but that may not be for a while. I really do not know, because it's just up in the air. It's whenever I'm good enough to do it, basically. So for now, it is on hold. Don't know when it'll be coming up. Now, Kerbal Space Program, the other series that regular series that I'm going to do, that's not currently postponed, but it might be. It's one of Kerbal Space Program is much more up in the air, and Kerbal Space Program also has some of the same issues with Terraria Testaments of a lot of dead space, a lot of dead time. But the format in which I was going to do those videos was meant to alleviate that, because the game itself just naturally has tons of dead time. It was going to be a little bit more highly edited, and also include post-commentary to talk about things that I forget to talk about in live commentary, or to correct myself, or to, fix areas I screw up in live commentary. And, it was just going to be a more refined video series. It was also, in doing that would help me learn a little bit more about those skills, about the little higher editing, in making more highly edited videos. The problem is that it takes a massive amount of time to do a single episode, a Kerbal Space Program. I've done several test episodes, and several test runs with resetting the save, doing a couple episodes, editing them, resetting the save, doing a couple episodes, editing them. I've done several runs, and it's another thing where I prefer to actually wait a little bit, because until I again practice, do more test runs and get a little bit more comfortable with my commentary, the live commentary, just because that part was lacking a little bit more. But the main problem is just the time. It takes a huge amount of time to do. The most I would be able to do it is once a week or once every 2 weeks, and that is such a slow update schedule, and it takes so much time to do a single episode that I'm just really lenient to start it, because I need a lot of time. There are a lot of things that I'm trying to do. I have, not just the regular video series. I have the comics that I'm trying to focus more on, put a lot more time into, because I need to. The comic, The Aberdeen, is the flagship of Coolpilot Productions. I need to start putting more attention into it than I had been previously. And am starting to do so. But I also need time to do the irregular series. I want to get started on Who, What, Why, but I hadn't had the chance previously. I am currently planning, within the next couple weeks, to start scripting it, to actually start working on the first episode of Who, What, Why, which would of course be about Pluto. So, I want to get started on that and potentially other irregular series. I also want to get started on the music as well. Start working on writing my music again. I haven't worked on it in months. I really want to get to that, especially for Minecraft Mishaps. There are some songs I want to make for Minecraft Mishaps. I haven't had time to do them. I'd also like to be able to get my French horn out and start practicing again, so I can eventually start writing French horn medleys and start playing them. That's going to take a lot of time. It's probably going to take me a couple months worth of practicing French horn to get used to it again, and that's if the rest of the family doesn't get pissed off of me playing French horn all the time. So, there's a lot of things I want to do, and they take a large amount of time. And I dropped the paper towel that the bug was sitting in. Don't want that guy getting out. So, just with as in all the time that I need to do not only the videos, not only the comic, but to start working on all the other stuff as well. I'm just very, very hesitant to start doing Kerbal Space Program, because even at one update a week, which is not a schedule I really like for a regular video series, because that's very infrequent, especially for Kerbal Space Program. It takes a long time to do stuff in Kerbal Space Program to really get going. But, even at one update a week, just the amount of time it would take it would take as much time to do a single episode of Kerbal Space Program as it does for both Minecraft Mishaps episodes plus 1 or 2 of the Civ 5 episodes. So most of the rest of the videos I post for a week. It's just a large amount of work that I'm just not comfortable investing all the time into. I would love to do it because I love Kerbal Space Program. I love space and space exploration, astronomy. But it's just, I have to better manage my time than I have been. And that's something I really need to work on. So, it's still a bit up in the air, but don't be surprised if you don't see it anytime soon. It's really unfortunate, but it's just the fact of life. There's not enough time to do everything you want to do, unfortunately. Particularly when you're trying to do 20 things at once. 20 artistic things at once, no less. But, that's pretty much everything for the YouTube channel. As I said, updates Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Civ 5, Tuesday, Thursday, Minecraft Mishaps, Try Testaments, delayed. Kerbal Space Program, probably delayed. Both of those indefinitely, until they either good enough to do them or have enough time to do them. And I want to start working on Who, What, Why and some of the other regular series. And want to get back to working on music as well. And then the only other thing is, of course, the comic, The Aberdeen. Not a huge amount to say because, a proper update on, what I've been doing with The Aberdeen would require me to explain the story, which would be a spoiler. And most of the stuff I've been working on would be massive, story-shattering spoilers. So, can't really say much other than the fact that I've been working on it. And kind of give what the current plan is as well. The current plan is finish up outlining, laying out, writing out every single chapter for every single volume in the Aberdeen. This is really important for how I'm kind of figuring out the story and how I'm, making sure, everything is connected within the story as well as within the entire series, because there is more than just the Aberdeen saga within the series, and there's multiple sagas in the series. There's actually 4 now. There was 3, but I just recently came up with a 4th. It's probably gonna take like my entire life just to do this one series. But there's a lot of information about the world, characters, the way things work, that I want to make sure that everything is settled before I start finishing scripts. Of course, they already have like a initial script for chapter 1 finished, but it's not finalized, it's not finished, like fully finished. There's going to be a lot of changes that I'm going to have to make to it already, because there's one major change I just made recently that causes a change in the very first chapter, as well as the second. In fact, it was, in a lot of the earlier chapters, it, forces a change. So I want to make sure I have all those changes done before I start finalizing scripts. I want to have the entire story figured out, so that if there's a hole I need to fill, and I happen to fill it with something that changes a lot of other things, it's already done. The change is already made, and can be applied to the entire story before I start saying this is final. Because I don't want to be stuck in a corner with my writing, and I don't want to be doing retcons. I want to make sure everything's figured out beforehand. So, that takes some time. I have done, I haven't done much while I've been sick the last couple of weeks, but one of the few things I did do was actually figure out volumes 4 and volumes 5, volume 4 and 5, volume 4 and volume 5 of the comic, and figured out all the chapters for those. Volume 5, surprisingly, being the longest volume so far. It is long. Still full 2 chapters long, and all of the chapters, is 2 chapters longer than any other chapter. Well, technically 1 chapter longer than any other chapter, but the one that's 13 chapters long has a really, really short chapter in it. So I count it more as 12 than 13. But it's 14 chapters. All the other volumes are either 11 or mostly 12. So it's a really long volume just in terms of numbers, and almost all of the chapters are long chapters too. So it's gonna be a really long volume. It's kind of strange because I expected volume 4 to be that, and it turned out not to be. It's just there's so much plot stuff that has to happen in volume 4, and so much character stuff that has to have so much plot stuff that happens to happen in volume 5, and so much character stuff that has to happen in volume 5. It just turned out to be really long because there's so much stuff you have to fit in there. But it's been going well, though. It's been going fairly smoothly. Volume 5 did take a while to figure out, just because there was so much stuff. Writing out what all the stuff was first, and then figuring out, okay, how do I fit these into chapters, and how do I order them? That took quite a while, just because there's so much stuff in that volume. So it took some time, but it took like 2 days worth of work. So it takes some time, but it's not that much time. So it's been going fairly smoothly, fairly quickly. Once I have all the chapters figured out, the next step will be to finish the script for chapter 1 and start working on the script for chapter 2 on the side. And once the script for chapter 1 is finished and finalized, I will post it on DeviantArt, and I'll put stuff up on my make note on my Twitter. I have a Tumblr now too, and of course here when that script is released, so that way you get a little sneak peek at the story, especially since it's going to still be a very long time since the story's going to be posted, probably a couple of years, because after the script is finalized, I have to get work on the art, actually start figuring out how to draw all this stuff, and that's going to take some time. And then even once that's all figured out, I have to draw the entire first chapter, and it's a long first chapter, and it's basically double length because of the way it's structured, and then make an extra 30 days worth of comics for a backlog. And I also, amongst all this, have to prepare the actual website for it and hire someone to actually code the website, since I have no clue how to do that myself. And I do have a more specific vision of what I want the website to be like, and there's no way I'd be able to do that on my own, so I'd have to hire someone. And in order to do that, I'd have to save up money to hire someone too, as well as make sure I have money saved up to ensure that I always have enough to pay for the website itself, which I've looked up prices. It's actually not that expensive to run a website, which is surprising for me. But I also have to do money for advertising too. So it's gonna take money, time. It's still quite a ways away from going live, but I'm at least close to getting the story ready. That's good. Getting the first phase done. You're starting to work on that second phase of the art and starting to plan ahead for the eventual website as well. And also on another little note, I should be able to get my tablet within the next couple of months. I've been saving up for it. It's about $1,000. I'm getting a Wacom Cintiq 13 HD. But because I just really need to have the on-screen drawing. I've tried for so long to do it with the more simple Wacom tablet that doesn't have the visible screen. It's also much cheaper. I've had it for several years now, and it's just no way I'm gonna be able to do it with that. It just does not work for me. I wouldn't doubt if it has something to do with just my brain being autistic. It just does not work for me. The coordination, especially when the screens are different sizes, it's not 1-to-1. I just really need to have that 1-to-1 hand-eye, perfect hand-eye coordination and everything in order for me to be able to do the digital drawing aspect. But I am close to getting that. Just a few more months, 2 or 3 more months, and I'll be able to have enough money to finally get that. So that's good. So I'll be able to start working on the digital aspect of it pretty soon as well. So yeah, the comic is coming along well. As I said, story is getting there. I have most everything in my head already. It's just a matter of just laying out all the details, figuring out all the placements and the order, and making sure that all the gaps are filled. So it's coming along. It's just a very, very long process, but it is important that I do spend more time and put more focus on that, because that is going to be the flagship. It is the most important thing for me that I am doing. There is nothing within Coolpilot Productions that is more important to me than the Aberdeen. So I think that's pretty much everything. I've updated you pretty much everything. Again, as I did say though, I do have a Tumblr. Not really posted much of anything there yet, other than a little note on Volume 5 and the kind of strangeness and how odd. Strangeness in how long it ended up being. But I haven't posted too much there yet. I'll be posting more there in the future, particularly when I start doing more art, of course. But I think that is everything otherwise for this update. It went on a little longer than I expected. I'm getting to half an hour now. But yeah, I'm just glad to be over this infection now, so I can actually really start getting back to work. It was miserable. But yeah, to sign off here, get to editing some Civ 5 videos, and probably take a break in there as well to play some Age of Wonders 3, since I just bought that. I've been rearing to play Age of Wonders 3 for a little while now. I might even potentially do a series on that to help replace one of the series that we're not going to be able to do yet. maybe. We shall see. I'll have to do some test games of that first, of course. But yeah, that's basically everything. So I will see you guys next time.